I've seen a lot of people be mad about this new Miles Morales suit in Insomniac Spider-Man 2. And if you're a casual Spider-Man fan or you really don't care, you're probably wondering why. You're probably wondering if they're just being insane, toxic fans. That's what I was wondering anyway. But upon doing further research into what makes the original Spider-Man suit so iconic and actually great costume design, I get it now. There's some very valid criticisms that the educated fans definitely would not be able to let go. According to Stan Lee, under the suit, he could be anyone. That's why he's so easily race swapped as well. I mean, for a bunch of reasons, Spider-Man story applies to a whole bunch of people. Spider-Man story is really just a really human story. It doesn't have to do with a particular race of a person. But that is a key one. The fact that Spider-Man can be anyone under the mask and the suit covers his entire body is endearing. It makes it such that the suit is already an inclusive thing. Obviously, that's very hard to do when you can see his stock video game black character dreadlocks popping out from his mask. Costumes provide the audience with basic information about the character, such as their age, gender, occupation, economic and social background, which is probably what they were thinking with this design, with the dreads and the sneakers. They were probably thinking, let's celebrate that Spider-Man is black and young and in with the culture, except that all those things are wrong with the design for Spider-Man. Apart from being able to tell the gender of the Spider-Person, we should not be able to tell much more. It's part of what makes the character so endearing. It's part of what makes the suit great. Of course, there are variations of Peter's suit out there with his feet sticking out or his hair, but it's safe to say that those are either memes, like literally just hilarious, like the Bagman suit, or have never really reached mainstream success, and for these same reasons they just aren't Spider-Man. They aren't Spider-Man's suit. And Spider-Man's costume is also interesting because it really can't be dated. Like if you leave the main details of the costume and just give it iterations, you can see that it essentially fits into any timeline. That's essentially how the MCU has tailored creating different suits for different movies. This costume for Miles, on the other hand, I mean the hairstyle, the cuts in the mask, the shoes, they can be extremely dated very quickly. That's also part of why alterations to the suit like the hybrid suit are criticized in the MCU, even if we don't always say it that way. Spider-Man already has an iconic and timeless design, and unless you are more genius than Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, who, by the way, actually did it accidentally, so yeah, it was accidental genius, but they acknowledged it and they saw it and they promoted it. If you're not as genius as them, changing it and upgrading it is a feat that you're not well suited for, and quite frankly, if you were suited for it, you probably won't be met with the criticism. You probably have just created a better Miles suit. But another thing I can't get my mind around is, why is this a collab with Adidas? I mean, I know that Spider-Man and Kanye fans have large intersections. They both believe that no one man should have all that power without the responsibility, but really, of course, this is an issue. Of course, we're really getting a sneakers Miles Morales because of a brand collab for a real shoe. Now, honestly, this isn't really a problem when you add the things that you've already stated before this. I mean, it kind of feels weird that the suit that celebrates this new black Spider-Man just ends up being this piece of corporatized endorsement and advertisement. But hey, they have given us a license to criticize and nitpick, and this is something that definitely shouldn't have happened, and actually couldn't have happened without this new electric blue Young Thug styled Spider-Man. My apologies to the Young Thug community. And what I really don't get is why. Is it arrogance? Is it ignorance? Is it just wanting to throw something against the wall and see if it sticks? How much did Adidas pay for this collab? I really hope that it's the latter, because quite frankly, they had no reason to do this at all. Miles Morales already has a version of his suit that Peter has no claim to, the mostly black with the red lines. Yes, there are Peter versions that kind of look like this with the Superior Spider-Man and Far From Home suits, but we're all aware that this isn't really Peter's suit. No Peter fan thinks that that's the definitive version of his suit, even though there are some purists out there that say that the original suit from the 60s was meant to be black and red, but it couldn't because of the printing technology and the price of black ink at the time. Essentially, this is true. That's the same reason that Batman's suit is also more dark blue than black in the older comics. But even with that, we know that this isn't Peter's suit. This is Miles' suit, and this has even been seen to work elsewhere with characters like Captain America, where the black and blue is definitely Bucky's suit and Steve's suit is blue and red. And I would argue that Miles Morales already got the better design philosophy. Actually, I always thought he looked so slick in the black and red, and clearly some MCU designers agree. Either that or they are purists. Well, we can see with the Far From Home suit, all they needed to do for Miles was to give him a unique cut of his black and red suit like they did with Peter's suit for the advanced suit. Then they would have been properly following their own design philosophy and not created something that looks out of place in their own game. Come on, Insomniac. It's bad enough that Miles is the stereotypical black character with electric powers, and now you're giving him the stereotypical black character hair that we get in all these games. One of the coolest things about him is that he still definitely doesn't look like one. He's an unassuming electric powered character. It makes him look so slick. Like, they literally went from Miles Morales, which is this very interesting cool character, to Black Lightning or Static Shock. You know, Electric Blue's got the dreads, the black character. Hey, this isn't new, good, better design. This new suit just screams, look at me, I shoot lightning from my fingertips, with the awful electric blue stripes. Literally, if those stripes were black, that costume is immediately 10 times better. But what do you think? Am I wrong? I try to be as objective as possible about this by going to what the creators said and to what the costume design of Spider-Man is essentially for why it's so iconic. And honestly, I think the Miles suit as a superhero suit is mid. It's not terrible. I mean, it's Static Shock, it's Black Lightning, yeah, whatever. But as a Spider-Man suit, it is terrible. If you like the video, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.